Hello, my name is Luka, and in this video I will show you around Park Maksimir, the biggest park in Croatian capital Zagreb. Placed in northeastern part of Zagreb, with area size of around 3.16 square kilometers, Maksimir offers most of the green land in the city's older parts. That being said, it is no wonder 1.3 million people walk through here every year. As for me, just for you to get the idea where I will start filming, I'll enter from the red circle, the southwestern entrance. Just a quick history lesson, there are two big bosses mainly involved in founding and developing the park. The park was founded in 1794 by Bishop Maximilian Vrhovac, as the name Maksimir means Maximilian's peace. The other, Bishop Juraj Haulik, was further involved in designing the park in an English style, and he organized building of the most monuments around the park. Here I am at the main entrance of the park, a so-called portal. You can see it's easily accessible by the tram. It is placed across the Dinamo Stadium, and on the portal there is a short poem from Croatian drama about enjoying the stay in the woods, and two Roman goddesses on each side, Flora and Pomona. Through the portal I go. On the back side there's a year written in Roman, 1914, I guess that's the year of the construction. I continue down the main road. On the left there's a restaurant and an administration building, and on the right that thing is a gardener's house and a map of the park, and behind the map there's an ice cream selling point, so a nice thing in the summer. Continuing down the main road, on the pathway to the right there's a building called Eco Pavilion. You will hear why is it called a Eco Pavilion as I produce a sound. Oh. These cider bottles enhance the sound, of course. I continue down the road, the pathway, and you can see the first lake. It's one of the 5 lakes, all are called by ordinal numbers, not very creative. This lake surrounds the zoo that is placed inside of the park. Across the bridge there's the entrance to the zoo, and on this side of the bridge there's a little info center with the first room having descriptions of events and attractions they currently offer. And in the back room there are photos and stories from the history of the zoo, like this one where they had to walk a camel through the city for it to get a health checkup. This is the first lake from a point closer to the stadium. You can see a little bar and a dock here. You can rent a boat actually. You won't get stranded, even though it looks shallow. The lake is actually 3.3 meters deep. On this "Did you know" sign it says that the first lake hosted not only small boats like those for rental, but a 5.5 meter long sailboat that was once used as an attraction for second opening of the park, and a rental steamboat that was there for renting at late 1800s. It also says that the lake has a sport related history, as it was used as an ice rink for skating, curling and hockey way back in 1853. And the first water polo game in Zagreb was also played here. No one does that anymore. And let me tell you that temperatures these days don't make ice skating possible. I once tried to step on the ice on the second lake, and it was not a nice ride home. I continue walking to get to the second lake. Next to the road you can also see these little signs that stick from the ground. They show you which tree is in front of you, so you can learn something about trees. And next to each landmark there are usually these "Did you know" signs, like the one from before from the first lake. This landmark is a lace bridge. It goes above the waterfall that connects second and the first lake. Water from second lake pours down to the first lake. This is the second lake. Behind that fence, way behind that fence, on a good day, you can see the lions from the zoo. On the shore of the second lake, I'm next to this oak tree, I think, and duckies. I'm sure about them being duckies. From here, you can see kind of a center point of the park, the observatory called Kiosk. It is place where all the roads meet. This is the main road where I entered from. It is important that all roads meet here because it has a bar within it. But I'm not really sure if you can observe anything from here, as I never actually saw anyone at the top. Going to the west side of the park, there are more open spaces and meadows here. This is a stage for performers, but people usually only stretch here. And this is the road that leads to the third lake. Over the hill, I reach the third lake. Very calm. Usually here are more ducks, but I guess the dog chased them away. He is now trying to get this big branch out, but he quits just to spray me with water. Bonus footage of Mikey and the gang sunbathing. Now on the east side of the park, I am in front of a church, Church of St. George, built in a Gothic style. One of two bishops, Juraj Haulik, that designed the whole park, also organized the building of this church, and he wanted to be buried here. I guess it was his name, Juraj, Croatian George, that made it so, because it doesn't look very comfy. Another monument built by Bishop Haulik, obelisk, built in honor of finishing the works on the restoration of the park. It honors everyone that worked on the restoration and wishes visitors to get their spirits up by the wonders of the nature. Works for me, I guess. To reach the last two lakes, I continue north from the obelisk. Here again, more open spaces and meadows to the right, and a tree, which intrigued me, because it was bright and it had big leaves, so I googled tree with big leaves, and it's a paulownia tree. Now you also know it. Here I finally reach fourth and fifth lake. Fifth is on the left, fourth is on the right. Very nice view. Water from the fifth lake flows through that structure on the right to get to the fourth lake. In my opinion, the fifth lake is the most beautiful one, with this upside and downside pyramid-like view. Shame my phone doesn't honor it enough. On the top of the trees you can also see Sljeme, peak of Medvednica mountain, which surrounds the north side of Zagreb. Walking down the stairs you can get to the fourth lake. The sign shows direction of Francik, which is the name for public water pump on the opposite shore of the lake. This is where the water flows from the fifth lake to the fourth lake. Water isn't usually this shallow in the fourth lake. As you can see, it usually goes up to the plants. This building is called Fisherman's Cottage. Nowadays it's used only for relaxing and not fishing, I think. After all, water has to flow somewhere, and it exits the park into a nearby stream called Bliznec. Name roughly means nearby stream. This is the public water pump I talked about before, named Francik. You can see the elderly filling their bottles. I didn't fill mine, so I didn't disturb them. More duckies at the lake. Back to the fifth lake. In the woods on the north shore, I reach a fitness trail, which is basically a street workout park, but in the woods. A fancy name. Nicest place to work out in Zagreb, but has a big flaw, being the long walk from the city to reach it. Going back to the southern parts of the park, on the way there's a well. It has no doors, I mean it has sealed doors. I don't know if it's the water that is just bad or maybe someone fell in. Whatever it is, safety measures are incorporated. This is the observatory from the north side, on the opposite side of this meadow. And on this side, there's a building called Swiss House. Looks very cool. But honestly, in it, I mean, the sign says there's a reception room of Bishop Haulich, parlor, a fancy word. But I will now film it, and bam, nothing. At least I can't see it. Not even in the basement. Way back on the second lake, here are some turtles, a nice reflection from the water. Swim! Small man in the heron costume, of course, he's always watching. And Leonardo, Raphael, about to have a fight. But they are peaceful and they just walk it off. Swim it off. This is the stage and the meadow from earlier as I go to the western entrance slash exit of the park. And just before the western entrance slash exit, there's this monument called Mogila. It was built in 1925 as a celebration of the millennium from establishment of Croatian kingdom. Mogila features a falcon statue at the top of the hill and tablets with patriotic messages on the sides of the statue. And the hill itself has a foundation of artifacts from Croatian history and also clods of earth from 155 different places in Croatia. With this view, I am ending the video. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you next time.